Hi, and welcome back to another Tech Talk. Today's talk will focus on maximizing your Microsoft. Now let's get started.
This is going to cover how to access Teams and then syncing your Canvas calendar with your Outlook calendar, and then using Microsoft To Do and your Outlook calendar to help track assignments. So certain classes in Canvas don't, the professor just doesn't assign a due date, and so it doesn't end up on the calendar, but you can kind of make up for that by assigning a to-do list task for yourself that you can then drag and drop onto your Outlook calendar. So we're really going to be focusing kind of on Outlook and the Outlook calendar, and specifically it's going to be the browser version. This is just because it's not available on the app for some reason, the one area that the browser is better than the app. But to start off on Canvas, this is my student Canvas, and this is just a blank test course that I made for today. But over on the left-hand side, you've got a list of tabs here, and right here you've got this Microsoft Education tab. Can everyone see that? Okay, so starting this summer, if you click on that, you're going to have access to your OneDrive, class notebook, and Teams right in Canvas. Now, Teams, it's accessible through Canvas, but really it does just take you right back to Teams. So, but it will take you directly to the course general channel where you'll see all the meetings and everything. So if you were to then click on Teams, there's this link here for the Tech Talk demo course, which is just the name of the Canvas class. And if you click on Open, depending on how you have it set up, it might open the app, but it might open just a browser tab. Opening with the app, I know sometimes if you're on staff, it can be a little confusing because you have to make sure that you're signed into the right account on the app to access the class. If you try to access the link from your staff account, it's not going to work. But see, this just took me straight to the Tech Talk demo course general channel, and we have all one of our class meetings right here. Most classes are only going to have one meeting to join anyways, but so from right here, if it's time for me to go to class online, can go to the Microsoft Education tab on Canvas, and it'll take me right here to join the Teams meeting. One of the things about, actually I think this is the same even now, if you get added to the class after the meetings have already been made, you aren't automatically sent a calendar invite, if I remember correctly. You might get an email that says, add this meeting to your calendar. If so, that's great. If not, you can actually click on these three dots here beside the join button. Click View Meeting Details. And then up here in the top left, there's an Add to Calendar button right under the class meeting. So that'll add the class meeting then to your Outlook and your Teams calendars. So if that wasn't automatically added or you weren't automatically sent a notification, this is a way to go ahead and make sure that it's on there so that you've got easy access. And all of what I just described, we're also going to have a couple PDFs uploaded. In each class, there's a Microsoft Teams information tab. So right now, it's just kind of new information to be updated soon, but soon it will have all of those steps that I just talked about. And it'll have where to click and little descriptions and pictures, and so everything will be very clear, so you'll be able to know how to follow all of those steps. Make sure that you can access your Teams meetings, and make sure that you've got the meetings on your calendar. Now, if you didn't want to do it that way, you could also, of course, just go to the Teams, either the Teams app or the Teams website directly, and click on Teams on the left-hand side, and you've got all of your class teams or other teams that you're involved in right there. So some people prefer to just go direct. I'm going to go straight to Teams. I know all my classes are there and I can access them that way. But it's just another available option. And then if the class was recorded, so normally you'll have, let's say you come here after class, it was recorded. Usually, I know it's really small and probably hard to see details. I think usually it'll have view replies or something like that. But if you click that, it'll take you into a conversation on the post that the meeting is made, and it'll have all of your recordings in there. So you just want to check the date that all of those are recorded on. Right now it just has the time because it's today. But if you go into the post conversation, it'll be there. Another way to do it is there's a shared tab in the top. There's posts and then shared. If you go to shared, there's a documents section that has recordings folder. So if you click into that, it'll have all of your class meetings there as well. To add your Canvas calendar to Outlook, you want to make sure that you've got Outlook open. So if you go to office.com and then click on the apps. This will have your Teams app, your Outlook app, OneDrive, all your kind of essential apps right there. And so go to Outlook and go to your calendar. So you need to have kind of both open at the same time. Go back to your Canvas calendar, and on the right hand side there's a calendar feed button. If you click that button, it gives you a link that you can use to import your Canvas calendar into other calendars. So you just want to triple click and copy that link. And then you can go back to Outlook. And below the calendar overview, there's an add calendar button. You want to click on that. And then there's a bunch of options here. The one that you want is subscribe from web. So you click subscribe from web and then paste the link that you got from Canvas. And then you can name it whatever you'd like. I'm just going to name it Canvas Assignments and click Import. Just going to give it a second to load. But yeah, I can see now up at the top on Tuesday the assignment that I had for the internship, how to set up your evaluations. I can see that that was supposed to happen. And it did, actually. I did do it. And you can always turn it off. You can see you've got access to your calendars over here on the side, so you can always turn that off if you don't want to see it. But you can keep it up if you like. And I think there's also, right now, I've got the merged. You can put it in split view, so you can see two calendars side by side. And this Canvas one shows my Canvas assignment, and then all of my other meetings. But, so that's the split view option. Do we have any questions about that? Cool. And then, finally, within the Outlook app, you have access to Microsoft To Do. It's a to-do list. It's just a little check mark here on the left-hand side. And you could just add whatever tasks you want. Let's say I have a BE 5104 profits chart, and it's due tomorrow. Go ahead and add that. And now I can kind of go through and check off my assignments as needed. But one of the cool things is I can go back to my calendar, and this is the part that only really shows up in the browser. Up here at the top right, there's a check mark kind of on a calendar there. If you click on that, there's this to-do tab, which sometimes takes a while to load. But I've got it set to just all my tasks. And there's my BE 5104 profits chart that's due February 26th, which is tomorrow. And so if I want to make sure that I get it done tomorrow, I will work on it this afternoon at 4. And you just click, drag, drop, and there's your to-do task. And you can adjust the size, because I know that it's going to take me more than an hour. And that's what I'm going to be working on. Yeah. Mark is complete. Okay. Yeah, it just kind of makes another calendar event. So the two aren't linked. If you check it off, the event will stay. But still pretty neat. And then if you finish it, you can click on it and delete the event if you so desire, because you don't want the clutter. But yeah, that is the to-do list, kind of in addition to having your Canvas calendar, and find it's just really helpful to use Outlook to be kind of the one central brain. Yeah.
We hope this information has been helpful. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you at the next Tech Talk.